Hey, my name is Shelly, and this is my June TBR. I can't believe it's already like halfway through the year. This year's gone by way too fast. Please let me know if I'm like the only one who thinks that, because I feel like I am. So if you're new to this channel, I am a really bad mood reader. Like, I will say that I'm gonna read something and I usually don't. Unless it's like a priority read, unless it's like a buddy read, I'm really bad at sticking to plans. I don't know, I like to read what I'm feeling, and if I'm not feeling it, what's the point? So, I have a few priority reads that I know I'm gonna get to. The first one being The Voice of War by Zach Argyle. This is going to be a buddy read on my Discord channel. The link is down below. I believe we have a bunch of people participating in this one, so it's going to be fun. I've actually read this book already, so this is a reread for me. But honestly, it's been such a long time that I read it, and I've been meaning to continue on with the series for such a long time that I'm more than happy to reread it. And plus, it's a pretty quick book. So this self-pub book is actually, I think it's like Stormlight inspired. Like, the magic is very much like light magic. I don't really remember the full details of the synopsis, but from what I do remember, it is about a young family, young dad and mother who just had their new baby, and they are faced with dealing with an issue regarding their baby and their baby's safety. And because of that, they are forced to go on the run. Because it is about a family and because we have the environment, I'm really excited to jump back into this and reread it because so much time has passed that my memory just can't retain it. So we will be starting this, I believe, the second week of June. I'll put it down below exactly when. So if you would like to jump on, please join us. It is a very welcoming community. Okay, so the next book I want to talk about, I don't own a copy of it yet, and that is Magic Slays by Alona Andrews. This is the 5th book in the Kate Daniels series, which I am absolutely obsessed with. I would not be surprised if I read this book before June and continued on with the rest of the series because they're such quick, like, addictive reads. This is my urban fantasies phase, so I'm just freaking going with it full force all the way. The world of Kate Daniels is actually very unique compared to some of the other urban fantasies I've read. I've talked about it more in my wrap-ups, but since it is the 5th book, I can't really talk about it much. But I'm having a blast. So if you like Buffy and Dresden Files, I highly recommend checking out the Kate Daniels series by Alona Andrews. I have a pile of possibilities. This is what I like to call them, a pile of possibilities of a bunch of books that I want to read all at once. Time does not work like that, and I don't have enough of it, so I have to pick and choose. But this is my pile of possibilities. Okay, so the first one is Dreams Underfoot by Charles de Lind. So in a video I posted recently regarding my top 10 favorite books, I talked about The Onion Girl, which is a part of the series. When I picked up The Onion Girl, I didn't realize it was a part of a series because it didn't say anywhere on the title or anything that it was like book whatever, but I've been wanting to read the rest of the series. So I picked up this book years ago, and I recently found out that there's an audiobook through my library, so I want to gobble it up. And since I'm feeling urban fantasy right now is the best time to pick it up. But this one is more, how do I explain it? It's not like your typical urban fantasy, but it has more of a small town feel to it. And it's not really like, I don't think there's werewolves and vampires in it, but there's other supernatural beings, a lot of things going on in the background. So it's not the same, but it is technically an urban fantasy. So I'm excited to pick this up in June. I will be listening to the audiobook. Any book I talk about today, if you want to buddy read it, hop on my Discord, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to buddy read with you. So the next one is like new to my list. It is a priority, but not really, because I'm only prioritizing right now series, and this is the first in the series, and that is How to Become a Dark Lord and Die Trying by Django Wexler. This just sounds like a cheeky, fun book to read. I loved Django Wexler's Burning Blade and Silver Eye trilogy. It's one of my favorite series of all time, and I have not read any of his other work, but I'm super curious to know what this is about. From what I know about this, this has a very much Groundhog Day theme to it, and I believe our main character is a female hero who is just sick of fighting the Dark Lord constantly. Like, apparently she's like in this loop and she's constantly fighting this Dark Lord, and she's so sick of doing it. So one day she's like, you know what? I'm going to become the Dark Lord. I'm sick of being the hero. I want to become the Dark Lord. So to me, that just sounds really fun and cheeky. This is a priority, But like I said, because it is the first of a series and I don't know when the next one's coming out, it's not a main priority. I have been feeling burnt out by serious fantasies, so this might be a nice change. Because I like to contradict myself, I may be picking up The Dark Forest by Cixin Liu. This is like complete opposite of funny, whimsical. This is super serious and dense and complex and a little depressing, but I want to make sure that I have enough to grab from in June that I'm not completely disregarding my TBR. So if I'm feeling the mood for serious sci-fi, I have this on the table. I was supposed to read this with my buddy V, but I kind of bailed on her and said, I can't do it. I can't do the serious right now. If, you know, she does feel up to it, maybe we will get ourselves together and get this buddy read going, because I do want to continue on with this series. I genuinely find it so fascinating and I really enjoy the writing. Although it's kind of interesting because it's translated work. So the first one was translated by Ken Liu and this one was translated by Joel Martinson. So I don't know Joel Martinson, but I think the reason why I liked the first one was because it was translated by Ken Liu. So I'm curious to see how this one works out, but we'll see. Okay, so the next one is no stranger to my TBR, and that is The 12 Kings of Sharakhai. Sorry, it's 12 Kings in Sharakhai. I keep saying of, it's in. I've had this on my TBR for years and years and years and years. I need to read it, and I want to read it soon, so I'm going to pick it up in June. I'm going to pick it up in June. I'm going to read it. I'm hopefully going to love it because I have the entire series, so I want to continue on with that. So this is about I think she's an assassin. Her goal is to take down the big bad that are running the country or her kingdom, and she wants to fight the big fight, and it is a Middle Eastern inspired desert setting, so there's lots of interesting, unique magic in this. And yes, I really need to reread this book because I have read it a long time ago, so I need to reread it and hopefully continue on with the rest of the series. So the last book I may put on my pile of possibilities is The Echo of Things to Come by James Islington. This is a floppy paperback. I started the series last year, have been dragging my feet. I didn't love it as much as everybody else has loved it. I think it's got some really interesting concept. I liked the first one, and there is a time travel aspect in it, which I love time travel, and it is a bit confusing, which I don't have a problem with usually. I just don't know. I just had a problem connecting with the characters, connecting with the story. It read very much like some other fantasy books that we know and love. So I don't know, I just haven't been in a rush to continue on with it because it is my goal to read my physical books. I really need to get to this soon because I've been having a really bad problem of buying new physical books and prioritizing these. So I need to prioritize books that I've owned for a couple of years. So this is a huge maybe, but we'll see. So that is my June TBR. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself and giving myself more homework, but I have a lot of house projects to do, so that means a lot of audiobook listening time, so hopefully I will actually be able to get to a lot of these. I hope so, because I want to read all of them. If you've made it to the end, leave maybe a flower emoji because it's June and all the flowers are out and it smells so pretty. As always, you can find all my links down below, Goodreads, Discord, and Instagram, although I'm rarely on Instagram, but I have an account. If you've liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up, think about subscribing, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!